Welcome back, guys. In this tutorial, I'll be taking you on the SQL constraints. But before that, let me just explain what the like operator and the in operator is. Like operator is part of the logical operator, and it is used to search for data that matches a specific pattern. Take for instance, let's say I have a data that has different column headers, and under my employee name, I have some employee that bears the same name or probably the same surname. Let's say, for instance, I have somebody bearing Bello Ade, I have another person bearing Bello Aminat, and I have another person bearing Bello Ola. And I want to bring out all the employees bearing Bello. So I can use the like operator to match that pattern. So let me try to run it again, my data, select. I think I should just use the multiple line comments here so I can be able to write my code. So select star from EMP. Sorry about that. Select star from EMP. So this is it. Okay, I don't have a name and surname here. So let me just say, okay, let me write a SQL query to bring out all the employee name that starts with A. Let me use that as an example. So I'm just going to say select star from EMP where employee name like that's percentage, a percentage, and I close my bracket. So select star from EMP where name like a percentage. So yeah, I'm bringing out all the employee that, okay, can you see now? I have Andelin and Andres. These are the employee that their name starts with letter A. So you can use the like operator to match a specific pattern in your data. Also, if I want to bring out all the employee that their name ends with letter E, I can do the same thing. But instead of calling out E as the first letter here, the E will be after the percentage. If you are trying to bring out a pattern that starts with specific character, you are going to call out the character before the percentage. Here, I'm trying to bring out employee name that ends with letter E. So the percentage comes before the E. So if I should run this is going to return all the employee that has E as their last letter in their name. So now let's say I'm trying to bring out, okay, like the example I made before, I'm trying to bring out all the employee that bears below in that company. So I'm just going to say select star from employee where employee name like. So the below, I'm going to have the percentage at the beginning and in the end, something like this. So this is going to bring out everywhere it says below. Let me use Blaze. I think I have Blaze there. So this is going to bring out everywhere it sees Blaze, either as the first name or as the last name or as the middle name. So this percentage before and percentage after is going to bring everywhere there is Blaze. Please take note. And we also have the in operator. The in operator allows you to specify multiple values in a where clause. So now they are asked us to write the SQL query to return employees with ID number, this, and this. Here, I can't use the AND operator here because AND cannot allow me to specify these three conditions at the same time. So in a situation whereby you want to bring out a specific value in a where clause, you make use of the in operator. The in operator allows you to bring out multiple values at once. So now I'm going to say select start from EMP where employee ID in open bracket. So I'm going to copy this employee ID I have here, then close my bracket. So this is going to return the 3 values I specify. Select start from employee, which is a table name, where employee ID, because I'm dealing with ID, that is why I'm calling out employee ID. Then these are the employee ID they want us to show. So these are the numbers I'm specifying here. So that is when you use the in operator. In operator allows you to specify multiple value in a where clause. So then this takes us to the SQL constraint. This is another topic. SQL constraints are used to specify rules for the data in a table. They are used to limit the type of data that can go into a table. So this is just like SQL constraint is just like restriction. It ensures the accuracy and reliability of the data in the table. If there is any violation between the constraints, the action is aborted. And these are the following constraints we have. We have the not null, we have the unique, we have the primary key, we have the check, and the default. So the not null ensures that a column cannot have a null value. The moment you apply this not null constraint to a column, you are telling that column that, okay, anything, if I write an empty record on this column, please throw me an error. That is what not null is for. It ensures that that column must not have a null value. Then we also have the unique. The unique ensures that all values in a column are different. So this one ensures that you don't have duplicates in that column. You can't have a duplicate value in that column. You can't have something like artifacts on row 1 and artifacts on row 2. So the moment you apply unique constraints, just know that you can't enter a duplicate value on that column. Then we have the primary key. The primary key is a combination of not null and unique. A primary key is a combination of not null and unique. That means the moment you apply the primary key, you cannot have a null value and you must not have a duplicate in that column. So the primary key is a combination of these 2 constraints here. Then we also have the check and default constraints. But let me just take an example here. So another thing you need to take note of is you apply your constraints when you are creating a table. So now I'm still making use of this my database here, the student database. So I want to create another table inside this database. So I'm just going to say create table. The name of the table should be like, let's say, supermarket. Then under the supermarket table, I want to have the product. I want to have the product ID, comma. The product ID is an integer column, so I'm going to be using integer as my data type. Then I want to have the product name. So I can either use varchar, char, or text, comma. And I also want to have the, let's say, amount. Amount is integer. Then I want to have something as you can actually have, let's say, branch. Branch can be is a varchar. It can either be varchar text or char. So now these are the 4 columns I want to have here. I opened a bracket here, so I must close the bracket also. So now this is when you apply your constraints. Now I have my product ID. My product ID is an integer column, so I want to apply the primary key constraint. So this primary key will ensure that you don't have a duplicate value and a null value in that column, in this product ID column. So anything you want to enter here must be unique. It must not appear twice. And there's what we call the auto increment here. Auto increment generates numbers for us automatically, like serial number. So instead of me typing the product ID, instead of me typing the 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the number is, I can use the auto increment because it can generate serial numbers for us automatically. And when you are using auto increment, you need to make use of primary key. They works together. Then product name is varchar. I can just specify that, okay, this column must not be null. There must be at least something in that column. Then this integer, okay, let's take for instance, let's say I've checked the data I'm working with, and I noticed that the values there are values above 20,000. So in order to avoid error, I can place a check constraint here that, okay, check amount greater than 20,000. So that means anything I'm trying to write on this column, this amount column must be above 20,000. The moment I enter anything below 20,000, it's going to throw an error. Then for my branch is, let's say, Lagos branch. So all the branch is, this data I'm working with is a Lagos state. I mean, that works with the Lagos branch. So I can just place this branch as constraint using the default constraints by saying default Nigeria. Or let's say Lagos. Lagos branch. So let me run it. So I've created a table. So select star from supermarket. That's my table name. Select star from supermarket. So these are the 4 column headers I just created. So now let's input record inside it. So insert into supermarket. Then in our first class, when I was trying to insert into the table, I called out all the column headers there. But in this case, I'm not going to call out all the headers because I have some by default. For instance, this product ID, I already made use of the auto increment. So this is going to generate automatically. So I'm going to skip this line and go to product name. Please, I didn't mention this in the last class. If you are working on SQL, if you are trying to create a database or create a column header, you need to make use of underscore instead of space. SQL does not accept space when you are creating a database, when you are creating a table, and when you are creating column headers. So you make use of underscore instead. So insert into supermarket, product name, comma. I skipped this line because I already have a auto-generated column there. Then for the amount, I'm going to write the amount. And for the branch also, I don't need to type anything because I already set it as default. Everything should be Lagos branch. So these are the 2 columns I'll be dealing with. Then values, the product name, let's say oats. Then the amount should be 34,000. Then row 2, let's say flour. And the amount should be, let me just use 12,000 here. And for row 3, let's say I have rice. And the amount should be 45,000. So now let me try to run it. Insert into supermarket. Can you see this is throwing an error that the check constraint is violated? It's because I already placed the check constraint that the amount should be greater than 20,000. And I'm writing something below 20,000 naira here. So it is throwing an error that I have violated the check constraint. So I'm just going to change this on to 21,000. So if I should run it, so it has gone through. So select star from supermarket. Let's run. So can you see? So this is starting from 4, 5, 6 because I've already run it once. So it has already counted 1, 2, 3 when I made the first mistake. So after 3, it started from 4, 5, 6 again. What I'm going to do now is to truncate that table. To truncate, I can just come to this. Let me refresh my schema. So I'm going to right click and truncate. Truncate table means it is going to delete all your records. I mean, all your rows, but it's going to leave the column headers. But when you drop your table, the difference between the drop table and truncate table is truncate only deletes rows and leave your column header, while drop table drop both the rows and the column. And in this case, I only want to drop the row. I want to delete my rows. So I'm going to truncate table, then click on truncate. So let us insert it again and run. So select star from supermarket to view it. So now can you see? I didn't write when I was inserting my record, I didn't write the 1 or 2 or anything. It came out itself because I have already used the auto increment. So it is generating the number itself automatically. And for my branch, I didn't write anything as Lagos branch. I already set it as default here. So it has picked everything under my branch as Lagos State. So that is just how the SQL constraints work. It is used to avoid errors, to avoid mistake, and it ensures accuracy. So see you guys in the next video.